Tantrums. They're just a thing that happens. Not every child, but most children, when they hit that toddler stage where they're starting to have their own opinions and they're growing and learning really, really fast, will start to have some tantrums. There's so many reasons for them. When they're tired, when they're hungry, when they've been told no, when they're frustrated, disappointed, upset about something. There are just so many things that are happening as they're learning and growing and trying to figure out this world that we have. And then there are also some things we do that kind of keep them going. So for example, let's say you're grocery shopping and your child picks up a toy or candy bar and says, I want this. And you say, no, you're very calm and you put it back. So you have that later or whatever. And then your child says again, I want this. They're starting to get a little bit more whiny. And then they really start to escalate. And then we get embarrassed. Then we say, okay, fine, but just this once, and this is never happening again. Okay, what did the child just learn? When I asked calmly, it didn't work. But when I asked in an elevated way, it did work. So those are some of the things that we do that can there are different versions of that can keep it going. So some ways to prevent tantrums in the first place. And the first thing to do is to just look around your house and see where are the problem areas that you're always having to say no, or don't touch, or stop, or don't do this, or don't do that. We want to save no for when it's really important and we really need it. If by putting things up or putting things away or putting up a baby gate, we can prevent some of that, then it'll save us a whole lot of trouble. We want to, throughout the day, communicate with our children about what's going on. When I all of a sudden just tried to pull a 3-year-old away and say, it's time to go, that's way too much for their little brain. So just saying, we're leaving in a few minutes, time to stop playing and get ready. Give them a little extra time, give them a warning. I always did a last call for snacks. I'm about to start making dinner, last call for snacks. If you want something, come get it now. That way I wasn't in the middle of making dinner and that's all of a sudden then when they're upset and hungry and I'm busy and nothing's working out. Think through your day and think about areas where there are times where there are problems, and are there activities you could give them during those times to keep them busy so they're not bored and disruptive. So let's use the making dinner example again. I'm about to start making dinner. My kids often want attention during that time. So bringing in an activity into the kitchen saying, hey, do this while I'm making dinner so that they're happy. And I've just planned ahead for that situation. As always, so we always say, catch them being good. We want to really give attention to that good behavior that we like to see so that we're not ignoring them when they're playing happily by themselves and then giving them all kinds of attention when they're throwing a tantrum. So, hey, thank you for playing so nicely in here by yourself. This looks great. Reward them, praise them for those things. And then think through when your child asks for something, before just sort of that automatic no, think through it. If you're going to end up, this is something I would often catch myself doing. I would say no, just sort of automatically, let's say for a snack or something. And then once they would start to get upset, I would realize, you know what, it's actually fine. And then I would give in. And that just created a whole lot of problems. So before saying yes or no, just think about it. If you're going to end up giving it to them anyway, just say yes. You can even ask them, give me a minute to think about it. I'm not sure. No matter what we do to prevent problems, we're human, our kids are human, there still will be situations. So we have two different kind of options for how to handle it if they do have a tantrum. The first is to ignore it. If they're not hurting people or wrecking things, ignore it. Now it's important that we completely ignore it, pretend we don't even know it's happening. If it's safe to do so, just walk away, go to another room. Often when that happens, things will get worse before they get better. So just be prepared for that, that if you do start with ignoring, you need to be prepared to go all the way through because we don't want them to tantrum a little bit more and more, and then we give in. So be prepared to go all the way through. The other option is to treat it in this way. So tell your child what to stop doing and what to do instead. Christopher, stop screaming right now and please speak in a nice voice. This will probably only work if we catch them early on when we see it coming. If they stop, praise them. That doesn't mean we have to give them what they wanted, but we at least praise them and acknowledge that they did a good job with that. If they don't stop, we can calmly and firmly go into a timeout. We have another video on that. So learn the triple P way of doing that. That gives the child a chance to calm down and it gives you a chance to reset, and then they can come back and try again. This was just a tiny taste of Triple P. If you'd like more information on this or any other parenting topic, please contact us.